So I was having a discussion with a couple of young entrepreneurs, and I was teaching them about the mentality of resourcefulness over resources. Now, what does that mean? Many a times, young entrepreneurs who have incredible ideas and want to start businesses, one of the first things they start thinking about is the money that they need to start the business, and meanwhile they don't have that money readily available, and the only option they have is to start looking for how they can get external money to start that business, which there is nothing wrong with that. But the challenge also is the chances of getting funding or getting money to start an idea from scratch, an idea that you have not proven whether it has a ready market, is very small. The chances are very small. You only increase your chances of getting your idea funded or getting investors when you have started the idea and you have some proven result or track record that there's a market, there is a willingness to buy. You have been able to do a couple of things to prove that this idea actually deserves external funding. So I wanted to teach people to think about resourcefulness first before resources. Being resourceful means that you have an idea, yes, but how can you start on your own? How can you start with what you have? How can you start by leveraging on what other people have around you without necessarily asking for money? For example, let us say that your idea is you want to run a school. You want to start your own school, for example. It could be a primary school, it could be a secondary school, or university. But let's start with a primary school. Let us assume they want to start a primary school. Meanwhile, you don't have the money to build a campus. You don't have the money to rent a building. You don't have the money to pay all the teachers and get all the didactic materials you need for the school. But how can you start? Instead of thinking about the lack of money that the lack of money, or thinking that, oh, I have this idea and no money, start focusing on being resourceful. For example, can you partner with your church and start an after-school program with the children around your community and ask parents to pay 2,000 francs per child or 5,000 francs per child? Now, you can start there. Maybe your pastor may not even ask you to pay anything and use the church hall or the children's hall within the week, and you are able to teach some of these kids from the community and you make some money. And you can do that maybe for a year. You can now raise money from there and even start a full-fledged school if you can. You can also maybe start with a one-room, start maybe in your compound where you live, start in your house where you live, and start where you can have 10, 15 kids. Let's say you have 10 kids and the parents are paying 10,000 francs for you to do some after-school programs with them. It means you're able to raise 100,000 francs or so at the end of the month. And you can save part and do that consistently for 12 months. You can be able to raise some money to rent a bigger space, to start the registration process of your school and so on. And even when you start with the after-school program, people can now see the results that you're able to generate, and they can start coming to offer, oh, I would like to invest in this idea. Can we partner and do something better? And all you need to do is create a better structure, create system, create policies, have a working agreement, and you guys can get into the whole business idea. So if you have an idea, stop thinking first about the resources that you need from some people before you make the idea to work. Start thinking about resourcefulness. Start thinking about what you can use around you to create the results that you're looking for. From there, henceforth, you can be able to use external money from other people to do that. And it is very dangerous to actually look for external funding or external investors or loans to put money in an idea that you have not tested. What if you crash? If you crash and you fail, you'll be demoralized, you will lose money, and you will enter debt because you will not be able to pay back the money you took from people to invest in that idea. I always encourage people, only take external money and put into an idea that you have proven. You have tried and tested, there's a ready market, the product is acceptable, some people are buying, you have bypassed some certain challenges that can make people to believe in the idea that you are executing. Keep building that dream, and cheers.